Good morning. Hello, welcome to Natasha Makes. I'm Natasha, and today we are making, this is, I don't know if you can see, I might have to do it on a little close-up for you, although he's all put on there. We are making Priscilla the Emu. This is a Kath Hardcastle design. She is so talented. I know lots of you absolutely adore her work. She brought us Choo Choo the panda, Desmond the donkey, Jasper the rabbit. She's an amazing animal artist. Really talented. Lovely lady. So she has, she's trusted me, brave lady, to demo today Priscilla the Emu. Now we've got 3 different colourways. Kath chose Kaif facet fabrics for this because they just work so well. So that's what we've got for you. I've got 3 different colourways for you, and hopefully in there there'll be one that absolutely steals your heart and that you absolutely love. Before we start, let's see who is with us today. It's been a bit of a mad morning this morning, trying to get everything cut out and good to go. I thought I'd be fine, and then saw exactly how many feathers there were to cut. I'm like, oh, maybe I won't be fine. So anyway, it's all good. There we go. So, who do we have? We have got Jill, we've got Jackie, good morning, we've got Rona, good morning from a very rainy Aberdeenshire. Oh gosh, have you not got the heat that we have? It's meant to be 30 degrees here today. Good morning, boys at school, says Claire. I have Toy on the big screen and using the phone for comments. I think she means me on the big screen. Good morning, Karen, how are you? Karen, how was Snowdonia? Did you not just climb it? Clever thing. Sean's here, good morning. Fiona's here, good morning. Marion's here, hello, nice to see you too. Julia and Hilary as well, and Susan and Severin, hello, and Jan, good morning all. Who else do we have? Becky, good morning, and Lisa and Belinda, and Heather. Oh, you've got a cup of coffee and a slice of cake. Oh, you've upped that ante, haven't you? Slice of cake, nice. Good morning, says Pam. Absolutely love Priscilla. So many of you do, and so many of you have been asking for Priscilla. Oh gosh, look at me. I haven't even tidied up my set. It's looking a little bit naked. Hang on. Let me pop a scarf back on so that you there we are. There we go. So you're properly dressed. There we are. There we go. There we are. So there we go. Who else have we got? Jessie, good morning. And Natalie, good morning from a sunny Rhondda Valleys. Missed yesterday as car had the dreaded MOT. Oh, that it passed. Well, I'm glad it passed. And Marie's here and Donna's here. Hello from a very humid Torrington. Ooh. And Paula and Sheena, good morning. Sheena says, isn't it gorgeous? Isn't it, Sheena? Isn't it? Absolutely. Right, well, I was just messing around trying to get a better camera angle for you guys this morning, but I'm not entirely sure how to lock off the angle of the camera. So I might have another little play quickly. Ginny, good morning from Pitt and Weem. Hello to everyone. And my humour twin, Elizabeth. I love that you have a humour twin. And you're right, you do. One day, I want you to meet, but I want to be there to see it because I think it'll be wonderful. Fiona says, sorry, only here for a few minutes due to work commitments, but have a wonderful morning. Thank you very much. And Jo says she couldn't resist Priscilla. So adorable. So, and Karen says that Snowdonia was amazing. Snowdon was tough but fantastic. The view was breathtaking. Well, yeah. Now she's back on night duty. Hey ho. We work so we can do these things. That's what it is. Okay, so we have got. Patricia says good morning, Natasha, from St Ives in Cornwall. Very misty morning. That mist will go. It'll go. You'll be fine. Here we are. Now then. Here we go. This is Priscilla. Here she is. Ignore my markings on here. This was so that I knew which colours I had to get in what amounts. So when you get yours, you will have, everything is colour coded. Kath is so clear with her instructions. What did we just decide they took the other, like 50 odd hours to do? It's a lot of time, let me tell you. Now, this obviously is an example of a K fabric. I can't get hold of this for love nor money. I've tried, I can't. So that's why we've got 3 different options. At the moment, Kate is quite scarce to come by. I've got a phone call with my supplier later on today, but she's not hopeful that there's going to be much left, to be honest. You get all of your instructions, all your cutting instructions, all your applique instructions, and then all the measurements and everything that you need there and here. So with the example that I've got on the back wall, it's only a part of it. This is a 50-inch by 43-inch approximately quilt. Okay, so with your full instructions, it shows you all of the placement. It's so thorough. It's absolutely gorgeous. And even shows you some designs for your quilting and key for your applique templates down there as well. And then here are your applique templates. Would have helped if I'd actually like drawn on the paper rather than that. But there we go. So they are all of your pieces in there. That's everything that you need. There's his beak. Kath is incredibly clever. Oh, morning, Hazel. How is Spain? You all right? Oh, Elizabeth says, good morning. Over 8,000 followers. Go Natasha and team. Yay. Have we cracked it? Have we? Have we really? Have we gone over 8,000? Oh, might celebrate with a lem sip. How exciting. That's very good, isn't it? Cool. All right, so I was just trying to think of the date. I was trying to remember the date that we did Choo Choo the Panda, and I couldn't remember. I'll ask someone who knows. I don't know what day of the week, month, anything is right now. But when we did Choo Choo, I showed you how to use bond and repair, mist diffuse, anything like that, fuse a web, any of those web-like applique fabrics, if you like. I showed you how to use those. And the way that I did it meant that if you're layering things up, then you could layer on quite easily and see. But it does mean that the pattern is flipped. So the way that I'm going to show you today is the traditional bonder web way, but also if you've got mist diffuse or you've got bond and repair or you've got anything like that, this is how you can use this method and get it to flip the same way that that bonder web would. So when we're talking, and there is bonder web on the website, so for those of you that love bonder web, there is that on the website. I was just trying to think if I've got an example. Oh, here we go. So we will do an example with some bonder web. I'll show you how to use your bonder web. But bonder web is basically a paper backed adhesive. And so you would trace onto there, rough cut round the edge, press onto your fabric and then cut around, and that's how you use your bonder web. Now the way that I showed you last time with your freezer paper and things like that meant that it was well, it's like the actual way up, whereas this way flips it. But Kath is ahead of the game and she has already flipped the design so that when you do it this way it comes out like that. Now let me show you the colorways before we go any further. It might be that you want to make Priscilla. It might be that you just love the fabrics. Either way, they are gorgeous bundles. I am a little bit limited on some of them. So if you do want to grab it, please do go ahead because they are a bit gorgeous. So you have to bear in mind, this was done for scale this morning. I haven't finished her. I haven't put any of the detailing in. That is just, and also I didn't have time to do the rest of the body. So this just gives you an idea of scale. And actually, she's just going to make a fabulous, great big floor cushion or wall hanging for the kids. So when I thought about what colour to demo in, I was like, right, well, do you know what? I'll do that one for Emily, and then I'll do one for Freddie in some of the darker tones. And then I'll get them done for Christmas. They can have one each. So what I would do with this, the zigzag, this was just to show you that if you want to use the zigzags, then you can, and what a difference it makes rather than using florals. And what I will then go forward and do with free motion or even with whatchamacallit, a blanket stitch in a darker thread, and this is just me, in a darker thread or a thread that's going to really stand out, I will go around, I'll put in the detail of its smiley beak, and I will go around and really put in the details of each of those feathers so that it really stands out. And that will be what I will go ahead and do later, but I didn't get time to do it. It's quite a lot of cutting out there this morning. Right. Oh, Fiona's got to go, but we'll catch up later. Now she has a 4-hour Zoom meeting. What? Can't you say it timed out? Sorry, been on it too long. It timed out a bit. I think I would time out, that's for sure. Right. Have a little look at this. I'm just going to see one more time if I can. These are your different colourways. There's one there. Let me give you. This one is the one that is up on the wall. This is actually the only one with cape. Well, they've all got cape in. You've got your cape with burgundy and with dream there. That is actually a wider fabric. That's a 56-inch wide fabric, that one. So there's actually slightly more cape in that. And then this is your other one. And I'm just going to see if I can fix that camera angle because it's annoying me now. It's slipped even further. And this is the one I'm going to demo in there. So let me leave you looking at those while I see if I can just have one last little fiddle with the old camera over here to see if I can't. Whoops. Oh, well, that's done it, isn't it? Hurrah. Right. Oh, I have to see now to see what happens. They are rather gorgeous, aren't they, these fabrics? Utterly, utterly gorgeous. So the other thing that I'll be able to do is to actually move my desk across. I'm just trying to get the right angle for you. I sort of ran out of a little bit of time this morning, strangely enough. So here we have got, in this bundle, we have got for you 1/2 metre of melons. They're the watermelons. You've got 1/2 metre of the beautiful batiks. You've got a whole metre of your border fabric in the diamond stripes. You've got 1 metre there of your background fabric there, and you've got 1 metre of that luscious purple there. That is one option. We're going to demo in that. We also have here, and this will have 1/2 metre of your dream. And just look at this, because so this is why we're going to have a look at that, because this is why this has these colours in. I mean, yes. And then I was like, hang on a minute, look at the pinks. Look at the pinks, it needs, and then hang on, it needed purples as well. And then of course there is that lovely green there. So I love that one, absolutely love it. I'm a bit gutted actually that I'm not demoing in it now. What was I thinking? So it might be that you just love the K fabrics and you might be after that, or maybe you've got fabrics that you've already bought that will suit Priscilla. It's entirely up to you. But otherwise we do have these 3 colourways here for you. So this will be 1 metre of your jade, 1 metre of your beige, 1 metre of your luscious, wow, and then 1/2 metre of pink and 1/2 metre of your ziggity zigzag. And as you see, that is the one that I have already demoed in. It's that one there. And so because I didn't do the full shebang, well, I've actually got the little feathery bits there that I will then have to sew in and do. But I would actually go around that in a dark. With the original, all the detail was put in with quite a light thread because everything was quite dark. But this I would go reverse and I'd go in with a darker colour to just emphasise everything. There we go. Hopefully that's going to give you an idea of scale and everything else. Okay, now, like I say, Bondaweb is on the website for you. It's the first time that we've offered you Bondaweb, and I know that lots of you, that is where you are comfortable, and that's completely okay. Completely okay. What I would say is that you won't get. Okay, let's go through the differences. So Bondaweb is an adhesive that's already adhered onto a paper backing. So that's already been done for you, which is great. But when you layer up lots, and we're going to be layering up quite a lot, it does start to get a little bit of stiffness. Nothing too drastic, but you know, you can feel it, and that's fine. So that's why Kath has moved over to using the likes of Mr. Fuse, Fuser Web, stuff like that. Bonder Web we've got on the website, and Repair and Bond. Now, if you're thinking, what is she talking about? What is this? So this is, so Mr. Fuse at the moment, you can't get hold of for love nor money. It's just, they've shut down in the States at the moment, and they're, we can't get it over here right now. So Mr. Fuse is an option. So it's like, what else can we get that is very, very similar? And what you're looking at is just a web and a mesh of adhesive. So when you put your iron on, it melts and it's all good. And these tend to just be a little bit lighter. So this is your Bond and Repair. I've also got for you some Fuser Web, which is a little bit lighter. I went for a slightly lighter one. So if you want one that's a similar weight to the Mr. Fuse, go for your Fuser Web. And what I've also done, for those of you that are starting out going, gosh, this is all sounding a bit much, I've put like a starter kit together. I'm going to show you how to use this. Or go for your Bonder Web if you don't want to sort of make your own. And for any of Kath's designs, I would recommend one of two things. Either get yourself a Sugar Works mat. Now you can get them off Amazon for not very much, and that's what this is. And the little like honeycomb marks in there just sort of pull the glue in so your glue doesn't spread out everywhere. But also get yourself a Teflon pressing sheet. Now I've got these in a starter bundle with 10 large sheets of parchment paper, white, they're unbleached white, so that you can see through them, so that you'll effectively make your own Bonder Web, but you'll make it with the Fuser Web, which I'll show you how to do in a minute. So it will be you'll still have more movement in your fabric. So if you're after, I mean, these will be wall hangings probably for the kids, so I'm not worried, and I'll use Bonder Web. But if you want it to be a quilt that's going to be on the bed and going to be nice and soft, then you might want to use Fuser Web, but it's totally up to you. Okay, so in order to use any of these, you want to make it into some sort of bondable thing. So what I've gone ahead and done is traced onto parchment paper some of the pattern, and then I need to put my iron on. So, you know, have a look at the other way that I showed you how to use all this with the freezer paper. That's another way. But just cut your Bond and Repair, Mr. Fuse, Fuser Web, whichever one you want. Cut it to size. And then place your parchment paper over the top. Now, mine is slightly going over the edges there, and that's okay, because all I'll do is take my mat, put that over the top, and then once my iron is warmed up, what's happening here is I'm going to bond the Bonder Web, or not, I keep calling it Bonder Web, sorry, the Mr. Fuse or the Bond and Repair or your Fuser Web onto that parchment. Okay. It's only taking a little bit longer for the simple reason that the iron had to heat up. So then, when you peel that back, what you will have is, when your iron's actually warm enough, then just allow it to cool. Allow it to cool, then you'll be able to peel that back, and then you'll effectively have made your own. But whilst that's warm, don't try it. So you have that option. Okay, I just wanted to show you how to do that. For those of you that are using Bondaweb, let me just show you how we're going to use that. All you'll do, get yourself a pen of some shape, size or description, trace around, write whatever it is, that's a small feather, cut it out roughly. So you roughly cut that out. You're going to pop it on the wrong side of whatever fabric it is that you're using. Press it on. And then cut it out. And then that is then ready to use. Okay. So that's your option. They're your options basically. Or if you want a third way, watch back how we did Choo Choo, and you'll get another option. There's so many different ways. Okay, so let's have a look at this. I've gone ahead, I've cut everything out, I've got everything ready in advance, okay? And here we all are. Let me pop all of these to one side. You see, I was all set to do a third colourway with these. It might still happen. Everything is traced and ready to go. If you want if you've already got your fuser web or your bond and repair or your Misty Fuse, then but you want another one of these, because they're really useful, then just have a quick look on the website. I've got these on there and they come with some parchment paper all ready to go as well. Okay, so we need to place Madam onto here. So I need to find all my bits and bobs. So I try and keep everything in colour order. I try. However, let's see. In your applique starter kit, what you also will find you have is some template plastic. And that's because you have got a couple of hundred of these feathers to make. And if you want to fussy cut, now with the zigzag I didn't need to fussy cut, but if you're using anything like the melons or anything like that, then you might want to use, you might want to just put your, whether you're using Bondaweb, whether you're using Misty Fuse, your adhesion on the back of your fabric and then draw around from the front if you want to fussy cut a particular bit. That's entirely up to you, and there's all the instructions as to how to do that in the packet. So let's have a look at the basics. Now I've already gone ahead and basically done the framing and the bordering, just because I wanted you to see how gorgeous it's going to look. Obviously yours is going to be so much bigger because it's, you know, 50 by 43. But get your instructions out. Excuse me. Here are actually, there are your instructions. Whoop, 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 whoop. Hang on, where are we? There we go. There are your instructions as to how to fussy cut. So you'll have your adhesion, whatever sort it is, on the back, and then you'll draw over and you'll Can we hear me? Am I back? Has that sorted it? Are we all good? Are we all happy? Is everybody happy? No sound, no sound. Any sound? Are we back? Are we back? Let's see. Still no sound? Hopefully the messages are... Yeah, yes, we're back. Yay, we have sound. Good, okay. Right, let's try that again. We're all good. Excellent. So, as we were, apologies everyone. Here we go. So, you have 2 meters of plain and you choose which one you want to be the background. It's generally the lightest colour, okay? Because we've got quite darker colours, but again, completely up to you. And then your other meter of plain is going to do your border, those feathers, the beak and the eyes. Okay, and then your half meter of plain does the neck and these bits around the eyes and the other feathers, and then your melons or your zigzag or whatever else you've got is going to do all of the feathers. Okay, I mean, you can mix and match. You can mix and match. There we go. So, first place to start is... Oh, you will need a tiny bit of white and a tiny bit of black. But to be honest, for the extra cost of putting it in, I thought you probably would have something like that at home anyway. So let's look at how we start this. Okay, so number 1, we're going to start with the eyes. Now, Priscilla is on a little bit of a rakish angle. So we're going to just compile the eyes. And you can do this on your mat. And then we'll move it across. So there's a few little bits that you can start. So that's your left-hand side. Do put the details of what bit is what on here so that you can see. Okay. Here we are. So you can see that says left-hand side iris, right-hand side iris. So that's going to go with that. And then that's my left-hand sides together. Ba, 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 ba. Looks like a right-hand side actually, but there we go. So, and all of these marks on here will line up. Okay. So you'll see that this line starts there and continues round and will come off there. So that starts to give you an idea of the placement. But obviously here's the rub. They're going to be round the other way. So the reason that I go in and I draw mine with a Sharpie is because look, I can still see a little bit. And this is where the other technique that I showed you last time when we did Choo Choo the Panda means that you're not having to do sort of try and guess any of this. So I'm just going to hold that back over there and then try and place it on those placement lines there. Is that right? And just move it around till we're going right. Yeah. There we go. Those placement lines are where that needs to be. There, like that. Okay. And then I've got these, and I've got the right hand side pupil and the left hand side pupil. So I'm going to pick up my left hand side. I'm just scoring it with, you score it with a pin or whatever else you need. And then you'll just start to see how these build up. So you know that that needs to go on top of there like that. And of course they're all back to front, aren't they? So whereas that would be like that, then that is going to sit over there like that. And we know, because we've now got that line running down, and we can double check. Yeah, everything is running in place. So you have all those placement lines there. Let me see if I can work on a little bit of an angle here for you. Okay. All right. And also keep looking at Kath's instructions as well, because you'll see that actually on the instructions it needs to be back a little bit. That needs to be in there. So you just build it up little bit by little bit. And when you're happy with the placement, you will press, but not until you're happy. Okay. Not quite sure where you're going to get the best viewpoint here. So again, if you've used Bonder Web, little scratch with a pin or some scissors. Careful you don't go through the fabric as well. If it doesn't come off easily when you peel it like that, then what I would say is go back and take a look at whether or not you've adhered it enough. There we are. Okay. And then just take off this bit. And I know that when I look at it, I've got that line up there. That's going to be the top bit. And away we go. Now, if you are working on a mat like this or on a sheet of Teflon paper, then you could even take off that bottom piece, because the bond will just come off this mat. It's pretty good. But when you're happy, and I sort of put them out how they're gonna be. When you're happy with how they're sitting, just see that there. Then go in and press. There we go. Oh, hello. As April joined us. Hello, hello, hello. Well, I mean, April, this is more your neck of the woods, isn't it? Really? If we're looking at emus. Okay. So we've got those, and that is the first bit done. So once you start to get the hang of it, I'll switch across here so that you can see more as we need to go a little bit wider. Please excuse me, coughing and sneezing away. We've been COVID tested. It is just a cough. It's the joy of children going back to school. So the next one I'm looking at is here, and I'm going to need this funny looking piece. Oh yeah, and also the middly bit, which is here. Okay, and so I want to pop this. It was pre-scored, by the way. Do you think that I suddenly had skills? So that's going to go onto there like that, and I'm happy with that placement. So again, I can press. I am so excited for this one. I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to look ace. Okay. And then once we do that, oh, Beaky McBeak can come out. But before we do that, we've got to take out these little bits here. We've got to take out the nostrils. So make a little snip, and then go in with your detailed snips. I've got my unicorns out today. I mean, yeah, who doesn't need unicorns in their life? Because they snip right to the very end. And I like that. I like that in a scissor. Here we go. And snip out. Kath thinks of all of these details. She's so very clever. I don't actually know an artist quite like her in terms of getting the detailing for applique. She's pretty fabulous. And Kath, obviously, because the fabric that she did the original Priscilla in isn't available at the moment, we sat down and we worked on these colorways together. Now, what I'm just doing here is getting a little circle just to work as the highlight in the eye. Now, Kath did hers in the yellow, so I'm just following her colour scheme, but you could do it in white if you wanted. It's entirely up to you. And they'll go on there. Okay. So let's have a look at Captain Beaky, shall we? On the back of Captain Beaky, you've got round here, Captain Beaky. It's what we've called one of the drakes is Captain Beaky. Freddie insisted. So that's a mark there. And so if you can keep this as a template, that will be your stitch line to give them the wonderful smile that Priscilla has. And then just remove the paper backing. So try not to rip it too much, she says. It's going to happen, isn't it? I'm really rubbish at taking these backings off. There we go. But do try for that one. And also bear in mind it comes in 2 pieces. So when you put these together, because they're over 2 pages, you've got that meeting mark there. Okay. So. Because this is going to go on top there, that's why we've removed that. So that is going to sit very beautifully. I love these colours. Yeah. And when I'm happy, I'm going to go in with the iron and press. It's rather gorgeous, isn't it? It's all right, Susie. She's morning. Sorry I'm late. Too busy having grandson cuddles. How is that boy? Susie had a grandson. Well, he was born in just on the edge of lockdown, wasn't he? So not very old at all. Months old. All right. I mean, if you're going to have an excuse, Susie, for being late, then grandson cuddles is one that we will always accept. But when you meet Susie, which I hope one day you will, she demos on her Chanda quite a lot, then you'll see what I mean. Not your average granny. Are you a granny or grandma? That's the thing, isn't it? You've got to decide. There we are. So that's my little highlights in my eyes done. I'm going to take the paper backing off this. Okay. And again, this was a piece in 2 parts. Morning, Laurie. How are you, my love? 6 months yesterday. He's glorious. So squidgy. Oh, they are at that age. Just before we came on air, I was having a little... oh, you're a nana. Yeah, good choice. I was having snuggles with Emily, and we were looking at our big photo board. And she was saying, it's Bear, it's Bear. We call Freddie Bear. So, Bear. She can't say Freddie, but she can say Bear. Bear on the photos, Bear. And I was trying to explain to her that was a baby Emily, and but she calls herself Mimi. Baby Mimi. Yep, that's the one. And she was so squidgy as a little one too. Can't believe that she starts school next week. How did that happen, people? How did that happen? There we go. Now, if you want to just trim away, I've just been a little bit overzealous with my cutting. And if you don't want any whites, just trim that off. That's me. That's not the design. There we go. And again, my placement lines from earlier, I can see through that white. And here we go. And again, I might just trim that. There we are. Wee-hee! My other name, because I said Priscilla. Because Kath had said, what about Vicky? Something like that. Whoa, what about Priscilla? And I was just thinking, was it Priscilla Queen of the, no, was it Priscilla Queen of the Desert? I can't remember. But also I was, or I was thinking like Dame Edna, because it looks like those crazy glasses that Dame Edna used to wear. But Priscilla ended up being. When I'm happy with the eye placement, then on we go. And then we need to find some nostrils. I've got one. But I think that, you know, would be happiest with two. There we are. I've got one. Oh no. Ah, I tried to keep them with each other. Hang on, that's one nose piece. Where's my other nose piece gone? They're a slightly different shape to all the other hundreds of leaves. So just bear with me. Actually, it doesn't matter. Here we go. So these will be going under there, like so, and like so. Yeah! Oh, looking rather fabulous already. Look at that. So this one is the melons. I've got the melons on here, and it's all looking rather fabulous. There we go. I kind of wanted to have eyelashes as well. Yeah. So that's that part done, and now we want to start adding the leaves. Now, what I'm going to do is actually move her onto here, because this is where she's going to eventually end up. Before you move any adhesion off your mat or off your Teflon sheet or whatever it is that you're working on, wait for it to cool first, because otherwise you might leave some of that stick on there. Okay. So we want her at a bit of a jaunty angle. If we look at the front there, then she really does have that jaunty angle. Now, what Kath gives you the measurements for in the book is that you want from the nose, from the very tip of the beak up to the first top of the feather is going to be 11.5 inches. So get out your ruler and find yourself a marker pen. Of course, I cleared all of mine away before we came to air, because, you know, that's clever. And I'm just going to go through the centre line. And if I want to keep that head there, which I probably do, then my 11.5 mark is going to be there. If I pop her on there. And then from eyebrow to eyebrow, 7.5. Mark off at 7.5. And that is where your feathers are going to come into. There and there. Okay, so when you start to place your feathers and they're going to go round, then that's where they're going to be. Now, you've got placements. So we've got our placement lines there. And then what I did was just look at the actual picture to see. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Take her off the wall and have a good old look. so that everyone can see here. All right. Now, you've got your key. So if you want to follow your key, then you can. But I'm not going to keep flipping back and forth. So here we are. I need 13 medium size. And we're going to start off with a middle colourful one. And this is where you can have so much fun with your colouring. So look at this. Oh, yeah. And it's just a matter of building up and building up and building up. And it does take a little bit of time, so you're going to have to bear with me on this as we go on this little journey. So if I look here, if I don't want to keep referring back, if I look here, then I know those two pinks are the colour of this, so that's my blue. Does that make sense? So they are my two blue. I think it's glorious in this colourway. And then I've got a few more big ones. And because we went with the melons here, then we've got some gorgeous different patterns and colours actually to choose from, which we didn't have with the zigzag. So it's going to give a different look, and that's absolutely fine. So we need another couple here. So that there, maybe this one here. So I've got, hang on, that one in the middle there, and then two the same there, then two, then two. I've got two more each side to add in. Now, they're going to end up coming out across here, going to there. Oh, hang on, I've missed a colour. Have I? Let's just see. What's my other colour? The purple, the plain purple ones. What have I done with my plain? Ah, here we go. So somehow in here, I'm going to have to fit in some plain purple ones too. Oh my goodness. It's a proper headdress, isn't it? But it's tempting to sort of go, oh, I need to go up there like that to fit everything in. But do keep to these lines that Kath has given you here and here. Okay. And just work yourself around there. So to there. Then I need to put in a purple one there. And then I slot in two more. Now it might be that I stick that one out there and that one on there like that. Yeah. Looking good. Yes? Do we like? What do we think? Ooh, exciting. And when you're happy with everything, when you're happy with the placement, for me, I will take off the backing off the eyes. There we are. And off this one. Oh, it doesn't want to come off. There we go. Just keep double checking yourself. Okay. So am I happy here? Yes, I am. I know you can do all of this on your mat if you want. I'm just going to do this here because I think it's easier for you to see on here. And then also I've got up here, I've got the neck. Let's pop that down there. Again, like I say, this is in a slightly different order today just because obviously I'm not doing the full bird. Now I'm pressing onto my House of Alistair pressing mat. Now the colourway that I've got is exclusive to me. Now, what I've just noticed is I'm going to have to stick some feathers under there. So I'm just going to place like the nose. I'm not going to go up to the edges because I'm going to be poking stuff underneath there, but I'm just going to pop that beak and that down. Like I say, in the instructions, Kath says, you know, do this all on your mat and then you'll peel the whole lot off. So we've got all of these here. Now when I'm happy that I've got them where I want them, I am going to go ahead and just press them in place. Now I've got some paper left on a couple of these, which I just need to take off. So yeah, if you've got one of the mats, do all of this on the mat and build it up on there. But yeah, I've got paper on the back of these as well. Didn't manage to get all the paper off before we started. So just checking in that when I've got all of these in place, I'm still going to be within those lines that Kath has said about. Remember those marks that we put in, which I am, which is good. Got one more backing to take off, and then we're all good. There we are. Okay, so am I coming round to that marker there? Yes, I am. Is everything in place? Yes, it is. So I will press these ones down. Now this would be on your Teflon sheet. Okay, but if you do go straight onto it, don't press there. If you do press on a bit that you feel like you shouldn't have, you can always reapply the heat and just lift it. You can always get away with it a little bit like that. Do we have a favourite colourway? Who's got a favourite colourway? Right, okay, now let's have a look. So we've got that one there. Now we want to go for a purple one here. So we'll end up with 3 purple like that. It's gonna look a bit good, a bit gorgeous. But let's just start to peel these off and pop them in place. What I will do now is the next few layers, I'm going to layer up and just put in place. This is why it's handy to have a pin or something just to scratch the back of it off. Okay, so that will go there. And then, so going back to have a look here, I'm going to have 2 of my melons. And again, just have a look. So like if I put that one there, it's going to get lost against the blue. So I will go with a different colour there. And that's the beauty that you've got with your melons, is that you do have that option with all these different colours. So I've got those 2 there. Then I want to go with another 2 of these. Like so. This is going to look so totally different to the one that we made already this morning. And then it's going to be 2 of the other colours, so we're going to pop in some of that. Now it might be that one you might want to keep for somewhere else, and you want to go with it. You've got lots and lots of choice here, haven't you, with this? You might want to go for a more purpley one to get more of a contrast up against that. And this is where you get to have that fun and decide. Here we go. I'm very privileged that Kath trusts me to demo these. So there's always that little element of fear because obviously these are Kath's fabulous designs, but she's locked down, so I get the pleasure of demoing. There we go. So we've got that in place there. There we go. Bring this down a little bit for you. So I've got my center one and I'm counting these out as I go. Then 2 of my melons, then another colour. Then I've got 2 more melons, I guess, is what we're going to call them. One there, and then this one is going to tuck underneath there like that. Okay, and then this one will go up under there, and then the last one here is going to tuck under there. Now I'm not going to press yet because I want to make sure that when I put all of these together that I'm not left with any gaps in here. Okay, so the next bit is to go with this purple again. We just take the backs off these. Which gives him that sort of, I keep calling it him now, that sort of crown look, which is rather fab. But actually it does mean that now I'm thinking maybe I want to change one of those out so that I get more of a contrast there. And that shows up more. Ginny says maybe you could start a rent-a-granny scheme. I'm certain that you'll be in much in demand as Nanny Beth. Do you know what? When I was looking for someone to have M's while I went back to work, I did put in an advert for a rent-a-nan because that's what I wanted. I wanted someone that would have the time to take with her. It's so hard to find good childcare. We were really, really lucky with who we ended up with. But yeah, I think rent-a-nans, there is definitely a market for that. And so we build up and we build up. So the next bit is bump, 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 two more of the melons on each side. There we go. And again, just going to tuck that under the ferocious eyebrow that we have going on here. It's a bit fab, isn't it? There we go. I love this. Absolutely love it. I could spend absolutely hours fussy cutting all of these leaves. Now remember, if you're getting a different look to what you want, it doesn't matter. You can if you're going, oh well, I've got a bit of turquoise or a bit of greeny bluey bit close to each other, either swap it out or just know that you can go in with a contrast colour and embroider around there. Oh, it's looking good, looking good. Right, we're on to the next page, would you believe? So the next page has, oh, let's go with that one. Right in the middle there. And then two more. So let's find, yeah, some of those blues to go out to give a bit of contrast. And my backs are removed, but I haven't placed these on with any kind of adhesion yet. Okay, and then that's going to go there. And again, just lift up the eyebrow. It's going to pop underneath the brow. It's not quite a monobrow, is it? And then you've got two more large pieces, and these are going to go on next. So we build up and we build up and we build up. It's very exciting. These slot under here. And these really just do an awful lot of covering. So where there's any kind of space or any kind of gaps, they're going to cover that. So you can pull them out a bit if you need to, pull them up a bit if you need to, however you want. But before we fix that onto anything. I mean, you'll be doing this on your Teflon sheet, but before we stick that on anywhere, that's what we want to know that we've got. And so that's going to come down. Is that right? No, I've got one more to go there. Ah, I love it. Just fantastic. And then just have a check that you haven't got any gaps in, and then I am safe to go in. And I would just dab at first just to get everything just gently in place, and then when you know that you've got everything where you need it to be, and again, we've still got to do these around here, so be careful if you're going onto your cloth, which you shouldn't be yet. Remember, this is just because I'm only doing the face, because we've still got the side feathers. Yeah. So we've got all of these wonderful things to come out of the side. Now, Kath said to me, really the face is the most difficult part. If you can do the face, then you can really and truly do the rest of it, no problem at all. So let's have a look, shall we, and see where we then get to. So coming out here, let's get some more feathers on. One out there, then this one. Oh, I want that in a different colorway. Can go in there, right in there like that. And so we'll do the same over this side, like that. Now I think I might have cheated on mine, and I might have put in a medium size one on this little bit here, but it's up to you. And then I want one the same colour as the beak, so I want to get my purple ones out. Let's take those backs off. Gosh, could you imagine if we hadn't taken some of these backs off before we started? Be here all day, wouldn't we? There we go. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait actually for Freddie to come home and see it. He's going to love it. He's going to absolutely love it. So we've got those out there, and then we've got another 3 before we go for a blue. So maybe get a bit of contrast in there. 1, 2, 3. And then I've got a blue one here. But they're just going to look so different depending on which colours you go for. So that one in there, I like so. And then one more, which will go under. Oh, I've got 2. No, go under there. Oh yeah, I am loving this. Now all I'm doing is making sure that, especially with this part of the face here, with these parts here, I don't want to put a blue bit that's quite similar next to it. So I'm making sure that the colours are contrasting as we come around. So that one can go there. That one can come in there. Where do we have the purple? Oh, hang on. Got another blue one to come in here. Here we go. Under there. Have I got that right? 1, 2, 3. So that's going to finish there. And then this last one is going to come onto here. So I do want it to be oh, a nice contrast. I'm going to take that one. There we go. Around there. Pop that one back up under there. What do we think? When you're happy and you know it and all that. Yes, I'm happy. Yes, they're where I want them to be. So I will now press them down. Here we go. So remember, on the website there's Bondaweb. This is done with Bondaweb. You can easily do it with the Fusible. And then if you do that, then you basically make your own kind of Bondaweb. Have a look at how we did Choo Choo the Panda. Because then if you want to do one face going one way and one face going the other, then you could do them coming in together. Oh my goodness, wouldn't that make like the most amazing wedding gift? You could have like his and hers emus. Or is it just me that would really love that? Everyone's like, note to self, never invite Natasha to a wedding because she'll come up with a really weird gift. But no, you could imagine, like, looking lovingly, if slightly crazily at each other. Well, crazy in love, aren't they? There we go. So just press that. And of course, then you will go on and do the rest of it. Just leaves me to add on a few of these crazy hair bits. Now, because I'm doing a slightly smaller version, I'm going to have mine going off and going off over the border. Over the border! And I will have to cut myself a few more because I've nearly run out. What have I done with them all? But that's what I'll do with me extra ones. Aha! No, I've got another one here. Let's just take that off. It looks like a fascinator. That's what I love with this. It does look like a fascinator. Oh, April, I'm glad that you like it because, you know, you live somewhere where these animals actually are. So, as long as you love it, I reckon we're doing all right. And these will just go on at crazy angles. And if I need one more from somewhere. But otherwise, what I will be doing is just, when I come to embroider them on or quilt them on. So I'm going to want one that's going to go up there, I think. For me. Oh, I'm prepped. I've run out. No! I've dropped one or something. Can't be one short. That's silly. But that's what I'll do with them anyway. Or maybe I want to have one. Do I want to have one great big one up there? No. Why don't I just cut this one down? Here we go. I'll just cut this one down. That will make life easy. So the other thing is to think about your scissor order. These are not my paper scissors, but they're not my best fabric scissors either. So when you come around to replacing your fabric scissors, what I would recommend is that you then, here we go, is that you then relegate them to applique scissors. And if there we go. Doesn't it look completely different in the two different colourways? Hang on, let me see if I can pop this under a few boxes up here. Look at that. So, a couple of very different looking birds. And again, this is just your basic your basic starting point. So then you'll go in and you'll put all of your detailing in with your embroidery, whether you want to highlight. With this one I'd go darker, with that one I'd go in with a lighter thread. It's entirely up to you, but you can see how well these borders work. Kath and I spent ages picking out the colours, making sure that the colours were going to work beautifully. So like I said, I'll probably give this one to Fred's. It's got some red in, and that's his favourite colour, and then that will go beautifully in Emily's room, and they can both have an emu, well, wall hanging actually, as it will probably be for those two. But I could always add another round, and then they've got a lap quilt each. So it's entirely up to you how you want to do it. Of course, the pattern that you guys have, it looks like it's watching me now. The pattern that you guys have is for the whole shebang, and the fabric in the bundles gives you the whole quilt, which is 50 inches by 43 inches. So you've got all of that. Remember, we've got Bondaweb on the website. We've got an applique starter kit in there. If you just want this and the parchment paper, because you've already got some of your bond and repair or whatever, then just go with that. If you want to grab your fabrics, this is one option here. This is the only option I didn't demo actually. But your border will be in your spot, your cave spot, and then I would fussy cut those feathers out of all of that. It will be on a pink background, that colour background, and they will be your emu colours. Rather fab. Or if you wanted to get a metre of jade, a metre of beige, a metre of luscious, yeah. Maybe you've got fabrics at home that you already have colourways in mind for, and actually you just want a lot of cave here. Half a metre of your pink and half a metre of your zigzag from the K Facet Collective. So that is the option that made that one. Or the one that we've just demoed, which is this one here, has got your watermelons in earth. Half a metre of that, half a metre of this gorgeous, gorgeous salt batik. A metre of the diamond zigzag, the diamond stripe rather, for the border, which is rather striking. And then you've got your tan for the main background. It has to be a colour that's going to make them pop. And then of course you've got your purple for the beak and for this first frame border as well. So they are your three different colourways. Enjoy those. Thank you again to everybody who's been downloading the Smarf pattern. Hey, you can make a fair few Smarfs out of this as well, couldn't you? Gosh. Oh, Ginny says, I have the joy of both. Oh, we're on to grandchildren. Have swapped crawling on the floor to tidy up Lego for crawling on the floor, gathering up doggy teddies and slobbery chewies. I think you might have a granddog there somehow. At least teddies don't hurt when you stand on them. Oh, the language. The language when you tread on a bit of Lego. Whew. I feel your pain, as do many generations of mothers, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Yes. Look, it's quite a short one, isn't it, today, actually? Next week, Angie Atwood is here with the most gorgeous wall hanging or lap quilts, depending on what you want to do with it. Stanley the Stag. So if you want him all year round, then have him as a lap quilt. If you want him as a wall hanging, then we've got Christmas, beautiful Liberty Christmas fabrics to go with that. And then on the Tuesday, I think I know what we're doing, but I'm just waiting to make sure that it has finished being manufactured in time for us. Oh, keep looking on Facebook because there'll be more teasers. But all I have to say to you is, if you love the hand cream from Seams, from Karen at Seams, do you remember the stuff that you can, I was just trying to think if I've got a bottle down here. I haven't, it's upstairs by my bed. Even my daughter loves it. And when we have story time, she gets the cream and mummy, cream. And because she's watched me too many times, because I use it on my feet, hands and feet at night. It's amazing. And so, mummy, cream. And she takes a little bit and she rubs it into her feet. She's not even two, but she's got good taste. has RM. So she's got, yeah, she has got her heart set on more seams. But Karen from Seam, I'm just going to tell you, I'm just going all out to tell you, Karen from Seams has magically, and she's such a clever lady, she's managed to get and have developed, this is why it's been taking so long, it's taken months and months and months, but she's developed a hand sanitizer which smells the same as Seams. You know, most hand sanitizers smell disgusting. This one smells the same as the Seams hand cream. So I'm going to put some really special bundles together for you. My friend Gemma, who is Handmade by Me PT, you know, she does the rainbow bracelets, and she did the infinity scarf pattern for us and the stowaway bag. She had, when I was telling her about it last week, she said, I've just made Ed's, well, Ed's is her mum, I've just made Ed's a little holder for her sanitizer pouch. So we're going to show you how to make that. We're going to supply you with the sanitizer, with the hand cream, and all sorts of other goodies. So if you haven't ever used the Seams hand cream, it's absolutely lush. It does have macadamia nuts in, so if you do have a nut allergy, maybe not for you. But apart from that, Karen's sources everything so responsibly. It's absolutely beautiful. So please do keep an eye out for that. We will put an exclusive Natasha Makes bundle together. Talking of exclusive, of course, Priscilla is exclusive to Natasha Makes, and I'd like to thank Kath so much for trusting me. I love them, absolutely love them. I think they're just fab. Oh, get well soon, Ginny. You're not very well, Ginny. I have Natasha's cough and a frozen shoulder, so feeling very sorry for myself. I'm not sure I can be blamed for that cough. We do call Freddie our super spreader. Is that wrong? Because obviously he went to school and brought it all home. But she says, you've all cheered me up. I'm off to cuddle my lovely rescue doggies in front of the fire. Stay well, everyone. Oh, absolutely. You take care. And Susan says, thank you for a wonderful show. Well, thank you for being there. You know, thank you so much. And I will see you on Monday, 10 o'clock. Take care. Have a lovely rest of the day. Bye-bye.